year, 22 million pounds of food is wasted on college campuses. That's a little bit higher than the average consumer because most college campuses have dining halls that are buffet style. So students can take as much as they want, and often their eyes are bigger than their bellies. Right now we're at Eckerd College. We're out in the garden area on the side where we bring the food scraps from the dorms, the offices, and cafeterias. Eckerd College is choosing to compost its food scraps to set an example for their college students. The food can be returned to the earth. It can be recycled, upcycled into beautiful soil. And that soil will be used to enrich the garden. There's a beautiful garden here on campus that grows food. So here at Eckerd College, they have a pretty organized system in place. In the cafeteria, the students take their leftover food and they put it in a separate bin. That bin is full. It's placed into a larger bin. And that bin is taken out by a team of college students. In the compost area, we take the food waste and the mulch and we put it in these bins at first. It is a lot easier to handle food waste when it's in these bins for the compost team. Every day, Eckerd College is making about a cubic yard so far of compost. But that's quite a bit. That's a really big impact, especially considering that we're going to be using it to grow more food. So it's mixed in these bins, the food waste and the mulch, and then always covered with a thick layer of mulch. There will be about 60% tree mulch, carbon materials, to 40% food waste. This compost bin has some visible food waste in it. It should have been covered up and it wasn't. So if we were to just dump this in here and walk away, pretty soon there would be black flies, there would be odor, and that's not what we want. That's not a healthy compost pile. We need to cover this up with mulch. One of the signs of a healthy compost pile is having some living creatures in there, small little microorganisms. They start to break down the food waste. The microbial activity, that when they grow and reproduce, it makes heat, it gets hot. That heating process kills the pathogens in the food and speeds up the composting. Once it gets to the thermal composting range, above 131, we will turn it after a few days and it'll begin heating back up again. Once we have turned it between 3 and 5 times, then we'll take and put it in a windrow so it can finish the curing process. A windrow is a long row, kind of in a holding area for the compost to finish. Once it's finished composting and curing, then it can be used in our gardens, or in your gardens.
Well, my name is Hunter Goan. I'm one of the coordinators here at the student garden. And so essentially what we've been doing this year is taking compost from the cafeteria, and we've been using it to grow everything from bananas, tomatoes, kale, and even some native flowering plants so that way we can get good pollinator diversity.